The Wombats here on Fearless Radio, the New Music Binge. Check them out tonight. They are at Park West. Do we know what time the show is?
We're on at 9, but the support band starts at 7, I think.
Cool, so those are probably 6:30, 6-ish?
Yeah,
probably.
Something like that. See you there.
Now, when you guys are on stage, how much time do you spend actually looking out into the crowd? Because, I mean, some people are always trying to get that interaction. Other people are, very set on playing the instrument and doing what they're up there to do. What are you guys like while you're on stage?
So it's very, very variable, I think.
No, I think tour pretty much is like with the crowd most of the time.
Yeah, I think it's like that's what make it a good gig or a bad gig. If you got good connection to the crowd, that's when I had a good one. And if I'm sort of in my own little world, that's when it feels a bit like I feel detached from the whole thing. And I don't know. But usually it's like we get a good connection with the crowd.
Yeah, I think as a band in general, we're not an introverted like stage band. We really like getting some kind of symbiosis or whatever with the crowd and making it as much of like a party and like a two-way thing as possible and sing-alongs and it's possible.
Last album came out a year ago. Any talks of getting it back into the studio for new stuff?
It's a little early for recording it, but we started writing
we've worked
some songs.
on a few new songs and just keep plugging away at it, and when it's ready we'll go in and record the bastards.
Yeah, we'll be spending the next at least a year making demos and getting things in order, and then...
Have you played any of the new stuff live?
No.
Will you guys do that?
Not on this tour, I don't think. We only spent a couple of weeks.
Yeah, then it's not ready to be unveiled yet.
Now, you guys have shows booked up all the way until August of this year. How do you, mentally prepare yourself to be gone for, 70% of the year, just like that?
Well, it's not too bad, really, because we've got lots of gaps in between and time off to kind of write, rehearse, do whatever. So, I don't know. It doesn't seem that scary to me, really.
This year is okay, but last year was pretty intense,
Last year was pretty
to be honest.
fresh.
We were away for how many gigs did we do? Like nearly 200 gigs.
I think we were away for about 9 months with maybe 2 weeks off somewhere in there. It was, I think, to be honest, once you the first few weeks kind of take a bit of time to get used to, but once you're on the road, you just get into that routine or the anti-routine, and you kind of get used to it, and then when you're off tour, you feel really.
So
It's almost
alien.
being off tour is weirder than being on tour.
So yeah, we love it.
On tour now, anytime my buddies go out on tour, they have their little tour traditions. Like they try and keep all the laminates or keep all the wristbands or try and grab a picture of the venue or something like that. Do you guys have any tour traditions?
I do keep all the laminates. Actually, I've got them all hanging up on a curtain rail. We filmed some pretty weird stuff on tour.
Weird stuff. Yeah, take a few photos and then lose your iPhone and lose it.
On this tour, we're collecting the bottles of tequila that we finish.
Yeah.
We did loosely name this tour the Tequila Tour, and it's been fairly true to its name up till now.
How much tequila has been consumed thus far?
So we've been on the road for a week and a half now, and we got
even.
5 bottles. Is it 5 bottles of Patron?
Well, and one of those bottles is the big 1.75 litre ones.
Is that the kickoff?
That was the first
That was the first night in Albany,
Yeah.
But it wasn't just us drinking, we were sharing it around with other people, but it's been good fun.
Now, did you guys hear about the special guest that showed up at Coachella a couple weeks ago?
Tupac.
Yeah, the hologram of Tupac showed up.
Yeah.
A lot of people are kind of freaking out because they're like, well, if they have a hologram that looks this realistic, how long have they had it? All this stuff. Other people are kind of excited / scared that this is opening up the door for tours of bands that have deceased.
Well, no, there's
Probably.
Yeah, probably. I heard that they used something like that in the theatre in London. It's one of my friend's dads was trying to run this show, and he was using this effect called Musion, which is I don't know if it's a hologram, but it's a very powerful projection, and so you can't really actually, if the lighting's right, you can't tell if this guy is real or not.
Would you guys ever pay money to see any band in hologram?
Probably not. I don't know.
I mean,
be a bit weird. I'd quite like to send us out on tour as holograms for a week or whatever, and just sit at home raking in.
I have a pretty awesome job, guys. I get to come into work and interview 3 to 5 bands a day. If you took my job for one day and got to sit down with one band and just kind of pick their mind a little bit, who would you want to talk to?
We did actually take over a radio show once
Yeah,
and interview Paul
McCartney,
McCartney.
yeah.
That was pretty
Really?
cool. Yeah, we were quite nervous though. And we interviewed Ronnie from the Killers as well.
Did you get to like prepare for that interview with Paul McCartney at all?
We did try. We were kind of on Wikipedia and stuff, like checking out the history of. But it's. I mean, he's.
We were just
done
more off the mic giggling that we were on the phone to Paul McCartney.
Yeah, and what did we talk? We talked about Tea.
His
His new album, like the Fireman project that he was doing, and he told the story about him and some of his buddies back in the 60s in Liverpool. At which point, both of our asses kind of fell out.
Yeah.
And Todd was so nervous he didn't actually say one word.
I couldn't say a
time.
word. I just froze.
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't interview really. Some band with a really interesting history. They've had loads of massive arguments and broken up loads of times. And I think interviewing Metallica would be just legendary. If you get them all in the room and interview them, it'd be pretty fun. You get some good stories, I reckon.
A lot of times with listening to music, people are excited about the environment that they're in while they're listening to it. Some people prefer being at the live show. Other people prefer, exercising with music in their headphones or whatever. Other people enjoy listening to music in cars. What's your guys' favorite environment for listening to music?
Well, anyone? I mean, I think I have kind of like different types of music for different things, really. So I don't really. There's music to go to bed to. I guess like sitting off and looking out at like rain coming down your window pane, getting all emo. That's kind of nice. But running as well to some kind of, I don't know, dance music's really fun as well.
I think on trains, that's probably my favourite place to listen to music, because it can be really tedious without any.
Travelling in general. Yeah.
Travelling or driving when you've got something else to do, when you're not entirely thinking about everything that's going on as a musician listening to music. That's when I kind of like it the most, I think.
Yeah.
Out on a big tour now, when you leave, do you even think about like little things like how you're going to be eating from day to day? Because I mean, I'm sure. Some bands come in, they love eating, the fast food all the time, the McDonald's, Burger King, all of that. Other bands try going to like Targets or something like that to kind of get some fresh food while they're out on the tour. What do you guys like diet wise?
It's all dictated by time, really. We want to eat healthily all the time, but
we are proper food geeks.
But we can't.
We always our sound engineer is he reads all the blogs and stuff. So he usually if we got a day off somewhere, he looks up cool. Restaurants or whatever. So we always make sure that we have a proper decent meal.
And to be honest, the only time we ever really resort to any fast food is if we're on a 10-hour drive somewhere and you've got to eat and we haven't had a chance to actually go to the supermarket or Whole Foods or whatever you said.
But I mean, we have slapped down a few burgers.
Yeah, but not necessarily in. Well, I had a Wendy's yesterday because we had a long drive and I was hungry and I knew we weren't going to be able to eat for another 4 hours, and it was either that or cold pizza in the back. But yeah, we try and eat healthily.
Last question I got for you guys. You got shows booked up all the way until August. You got other tours this summer, but what does the rest of 2012 look like for the Wombats?
It's going to be writing, basically.
Writing, really.
Yeah. Recording demos.
Is there a ballpark, ETA, of when you guys want new music out by?
We got our 10 years anniversary in October 2013. If the album can come out around that time, that would be amazing.
That'd be cool.
But might be a bit wishful thinking.
No rush.
Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping in at Fearless Radio. Hopefully, if you find yourselves back in Chicago, you'll stop in and say hi at some point.
Yeah.
Go check them out. They are at Park West later tonight.